Hey, imagine this, you're saying goodbye after a long conversation. Nothing dramatic, just one of those moments where the night winds down naturally. She steps in for a hug. It's soft, it's warm, it lasts maybe half a second longer than expected. Not awkward, not rushed either. And the second you walk away, your brain starts spiraling. Was that just polite? Was that friendly? Did I imagine that? I've seen this moment play out more times than I can count. With good men, smart men, men who notice details but don't know what to do with them. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. Hugs are one of the most honest behaviors a woman has. Because when words are guarded, behavior leaks. That confusion you feel afterward, that second guessing, it's exhausting, I know. It makes men pull back, go cold, pretend they didn't care, all to protect themselves from misreading the moment. But what if that hug wasn't random at all? What if it was communication? Today, we're flipping how you see this. Not with theory, with real-world observation. I'm going to show you how women use hugs as signals, subtle, instinctive, often unconscious signals to express comfort, interest, and emotional openness. And more importantly, I'll show you how to respond without chasing, guessing, or overstepping. We're breaking down the hug that lingers, the timing of the hug, the mistakes men make right after the context that changes everything, and the one post-hug behavior that confirms interest. Once you see it, you won't unsee it, and you'll stop guessing. 1. The hug that lingers. Let's start here. A hug that lasts just a little longer than necessary. Not dramatic, not intense, just unhurried. Here's the scenario I want you to picture. You're standing close, maybe laughing about something small. There's a natural pause. She steps in, arms wrapped, and instead of the quick, polite release, there's an extra beat, a soft exhale, a moment where neither of you rushes away. That pause is the signal. Women don't linger physically unless they feel safe and connected, period. When a hug extends beyond social obligation, it means her body is comfortable staying in yours a moment longer. That's not accidental. Now here's where men get tripped up. They think, if she liked me, it would be obvious. No. Interest isn't loud at first. It's careful. That lingering hug is her testing closeness without risk. She's asking, do I feel good here? And does he feel calm and grounded? So what should you do? First, don't tighten, don't pull her back, don't overdo it. Men often ruin this by trying to match intensity. That shifts the energy from safe to uncertain. Instead, stay relaxed. Match the duration. Breathe normally. Let the hug end naturally. Second, anchor the moment emotionally, not physically. A calm, low-key line works best. Something simple like, I like tonight, said quietly. No pressure, no expectation. Why does this work? Because it shows emotional presence without neediness. You're acknowledging the connection without trying to extract reassurance from it. Here's the mindset shift I want you to take. A lingering hug isn't an invitation to escalate. It's an invitation to stay steady. Women watch how men handle closeness. Do you rush it? Do you freeze? Or do you remain grounded and self-contained? The men who win aren't the ones who push. They're the ones who let moments breathe. Now let me ask you this. What happens when the hug isn't just longer, but happens at a very specific moment, like right before she leaves? That's not random either. And that's exactly where we're going next. 2. The exit hug. Why she hugs you last. This one is subtle, and because it's subtle, most men miss it. Picture a group setting, a party, a hangout, maybe a casual meetup. People start leaving. Hugs happen quickly. Side hugs, polite taps on the shoulder, nothing memorable. Then she turns to you. She doesn't rush. She doesn't keep talking while hugging. Her body fully faces yours. And for a brief moment, everything slows down. That's not coincidence. Women use end-of-interaction behavior to signal emotional priority. When she hugs you last or separates your goodbye from everyone else's, she's creating a memory anchor. She wants you to leave thinking about her and vice versa. Here's the key behavioral insight. When a woman cares about how you remember her, she controls the ending. That final hug is her way of saying, this moment mattered enough to stand alone. Now here's where men either win quietly or lose momentum. What most men do, they panic internally. They try to extend the moment with words. They chase her with energy that feels rushed. They text immediately. They try to lock it in. What actually works? You let the hug be the closing punctuation, not the beginning of negotiation. Your posture stays relaxed. You don't add intensity. You don't try to trap the moment in reassurance. A simple smile, eye contact, then you let her go. Why does this work? Because confidence shows in restraint. not pursuit. She already gave you the signal. Your job isn't to interrogate it, it's to respect it. Here's the question that naturally follows. What happens when men misunderstand that signal and respond emotionally instead of behaviorally? That's where things quietly fall apart. 3. The common mistake, a calm wake-up call. Let me say this gently, but clearly. Most men don't lose attraction before the hug, they lose it after. Not because they did something wrong, but because they let uncertainty take over their behavior. Here's what I see all the time. A meaningful hug happens. Then comes overthinking, over-texting, seeking confirmation. Trying to recreate the feeling immediately, this turns a calm emotional exchange into pressure. Behavioral truth. Women experience hugs emotionally first. Men often experience them intellectually afterward. That mismatch creates problems. When you rush to define the moment, you rob it of its power. What women are watching in this phase isn't whether you're interested. That's usually obvious. They're watching how you handle ambiguity. Do you stay grounded or do you spiral? The wake-up call is this. Attraction weakens when a man asks the moment to prove itself. So here's the corrective mindset. A hug is not a promise. It's a door left unlocked. Your job isn't to kick it open. It's to walk past it calmly later and see if it's still open. Practically, that means don't reference the hug immediately. Don't seek emotional reassurance. Don't change your behavior dramatically. Consistency is attractive. Emotional steadiness is magnetic. Ask yourself this before your next move. Am I responding from confidence or from needing certainty? That question alone will save you months of confusion. 4. Context. Clues. When and where the hug happens. Now let's talk about context, because context changes everything. A hug in a loud, crowded space often serves a social function. A hug in a quiet moment serves an emotional one. If she hugs you when the room empties, the conversation slows, there's no audience, that's not about politeness, that's about comfort. Behavioral insight. Women instinctively protect moments that feel real. If she creates space before hugging you, she's prioritizing emotional safety. This could look like stepping aside, lowering her voice, slowing her movements. These are unconscious behaviors. They're not calculated, and that's why they matter. Your response here is simple but powerful. You don't rush. You don't escalate. You don't turn the moment into a performance. You match the calm. Why? Because intimacy grows where there's no demand attached to it. Men often think they need to add something to quiet moments. They don't. Presence is enough. Now the question becomes, after the hug ends, what happens next? That's where clarity finally shows itself. 5. The aftermath. What she does next tells the truth. Here's the part most men overlook. The hug is the signal. The after behavior is the confirmation. Watch what happens once you separate. Does she linger visually, smile to herself, look back, reference the moment later, find a reason to reconnect? These aren't accidents. Behavioral insight. Women revisit moments emotionally before they revisit them verbally. If she follows up, even casually, it means the hug stayed with her. Your role now is leadership without pressure. That looks like suggesting something simple, later keeping your tone steady, letting momentum build naturally, no dramatic shifts, no emotional spikes. Confidence here isn't boldness, it's calm continuity, and that brings us to the deeper truth. Here's the controversial truth most people won't say. A hug doesn't reveal her intentions, it reveals your emotional discipline. Women aren't measuring men by how fast they act. They're measuring how well they hold themselves in moments of closeness. If you rush, chase, or collapse into uncertainty, the attraction fades, not because she changed her mind, but because the energy shifted. You don't need to decode women perfectly. You need to respond cleanly. Clean behavior looks like emotional steadiness, consistent presence, no pressure, no performance. That's what makes a woman feel safe leaning in again. If you've ever misread a hug, overthought it, or lost momentum afterward, you're not broken. You were just never shown how these moments actually work. Drop your experience in the comments. I read them, I respond, and your story helps other men stop guessing and start understanding. Remember this, attraction isn't built by force. It's built by how calmly you let moments unfold. Let her come to you.